Good afternoon. I am Dave Cos, coming to you live from Sausalito, California, my little hideaway house that we call the Nest. Welcome to it. Come on in. You are most welcome. Pick up a chair, a nice beverage. It's Sunday. It is fun day. Thrilled that you're here. Thank you so much for joining us. It's going to be a really great show coming up over the next, maybe 30, 40 minutes. We have three of what I like to call musical powerhouses. And to me, they represent, each on their own instrument, a real excitement about the future of instrumental music. These guys on their instruments, relatively new artists, have identified themselves as identifiable voices in the world of smooth jazz. And I'm so proud of them. They're really three amazing guys and amazing musicians that if you are not tuned into them yet, after this show, you will be. Each of them, I've asked each of them to play a song for all of us. We'll have a little interview. And I'm talking about incredible and an unbelievable bass player by the name of Julian Vaughn. He's going to be joining us from his home studio in Kansas City. And then we'll have a little visit with Adrian Crutchfield, who is in Charlotte, North Carolina at his home studio. We're going to have a little bit of Adrian. And then we're going to finish it all with Dr. Adam Hawley, the wonderful guitarist, joining us from his studio in Southern California. So lots to look forward to on this show. And it's just a nice day. It's sunny. Hopefully it's a beautiful day where you are. It's a gorgeous day here in Northern California. And with the onslaught of information that we are getting on a daily basis, this is just a nice few minutes to just press the pause button, because it's hard to handle. Every day is another challenge, and but it's nice to see over the last few days we saw some glimmers of hope that there is a light at the end of the tunnel. It's going to be a cautious approach, of course, and there's a lot of differing opinions about how we open it up, but it seems like people are talking. People much smarter than me talking. That's one decision I'm very happy not to make. So hopefully in the next week or so, as more information becomes available, we'll get a little clue as to how this is going to happen for all of us. And imagine the celebration that's going to happen when everybody gets back to doing what they do best. I know I, for one, am very excited about this, getting a chance to actually play with you in person, this is nice. Don't get me wrong. I like this. I like this very much. And we may very well continue this after the pandemic ends. But we shall see, shall we? Anyway, the three artists that you will hear from on this show all were new artists that we were going to feature on our 2020 cruise. And you may have heard that we had to postpone that cruise to 2022. But if you've been on our cruises before, I've been doing them for about 15 years now, then you'll know that the headliners, what happens on the main stage, that's people come because they're favorite artists, people like Jonathan Butler, Gerald Albright, Rick Braun, Richard Elliott, Candy, the list goes on and on. But I guarantee you that the average guest, when they leave the cruise, they're talking about the new artists that they see, that they're first exposed to. And that's something for me as a musician, as someone who's been doing this for a long time. That's what gets me excited about music, is seeing all these really unbelievably talented musicians on their individual instruments doing what they do. And the three guys that are with us today, I want to stress to you, and if you're not a musician, how hard it is to develop a sound, to develop that identifiable sound so that when someone hears a record on the radio, that they could tell that it is, say, Gerald Albright or David Sanborn or something that Marcus Anderson plays. I mean, that's really what we're all trying to do, is to create that individual identifiable sound. And these three guys have done it, and they've done it so well, and they've had a lot of success as a result. So as you can tell, I'm very proud of these guys. We will visit with them very, very soon. But first, I would like to play a quick song for you right now to get things started. And I want to dedicate this song to all the Americans, and actually all over the world, people that are working right now, And one of my good friends, his name is Carlu. He's a nurse at Martin Luther King Hospital in Southern California, Los Angeles. And I talk to him about once a week, and I hear the stories of bravery, of heroism that happens he works the night shift. And he said every night it's just the nurses and doctors, they huddle, they cry, they talk themselves back into the rooms to visit with the patients and do the essential work that they need to do. And it's just gut-wrenching. It's just so sad to see so many people suffering and hearing the stories from the front line. So, and it's just not just nurses and healthcare professionals, but mail carriers and truckers and people in the supply chain that are keeping the food getting to the supermarkets, the supermarket employees and the pharmacy employees, and the list goes on and on. If you are working right now, you are putting your life in danger for us. And that is a sacrifice that deserves a tremendous amount of recognition and gratitude from all of us. So on this Sunday together, I would like to say thank you. You are me, I am you. This is a song of mine from the dance, a little over 20 years old. And hopefully this works a little magic to say a small slice of gratitude for the incredible work that you are doing. Hope you enjoy. A little something for you, for all of the essential workers who are doing such amazing work on our behalf. Thank you all very, very much. Now, let's get to it. I promised you 3 unbelievable artists, new artists on the scene, to entertain you on this Sunday together. So let's start with our first artist. A little background, as I mentioned, he is from Kansas City. He's in Kansas City right now at his home. He just celebrated a couple months ago his 40th birthday, the young buck that he is. He stands slightly taller than me. Well, like 2 feet taller than me. He is a former professional basketball player. He's turned into one of the great bassists and musicians in our world. Please help me welcome, all the way from Kansas City, say hello to Julian Vaughn. Julian!
Hey!
There he is! How are you, buddy?
I am doing great, man. Doing great. Blessed to be here.
So today's a big day in your world. You told me that before we went on the air here that you had your family coming over and you're going to be watching the big as a former professional basketball player. I imagine that today is a big day watching this documentary of Jordan, of Michael Jordan, right?
Yeah. There's another guy that played at Georgetown with my same name, so people get us mixed up. But so he played internationally. So I stopped at college, but I'm better looking than he is. But I'm excited because Jordan was my favorite player growing up, and I'm just excited for these new generation to see who's the best, not LeBron James.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, how did you get involved? Like, I know that one of your heroes is Wayman Tisdale, who
Correct.
is one of my heroes as well, and someone that we both miss so much. And anybody who is a fan of this style of music knows the incredible contribution that he made on the bass guitar. But how did you discover because you were an athlete? How tall are you? You're almost 7 feet tall, right?
No, I'm 6'7".
6'7"?
Yep.
Oh, well, then you're just only slightly taller than me.
by
Still.
that much.
So how did you go from doing basketball and sports? How did you find music?
Well, I was always involved in music in my church growing up because technically you had no choice. So, it was always a organ, piano, and a drum set. So, we always played the drums. Every kid wanted to play the drums. You just want to beat on something. And, during that time, as I got a little older, maybe about 14, 15, 16, was getting really good at basketball, but I needed another hobby. So I got tired of fighting over the drums. So there was this guy at my church had a bass guitar on. This was a Sunday morning. He had a bass guitar. And I said, you know what, let me see that thing. Let me see if I can play this. And I picked it up and just something came over me. I don't know what it was, but I was like, you know what, I think I want to do this.
Wow.
And I've been doing it ever since. I'm self-taught. I taught myself how to play the bass. And I played night and day. I slept with the bass, woke up playing it, go to school, come back, get my bass. I mean, it went on for years. And here I am.
And it's an amazing thing, too, because when people talk about bass guitar, it's a foundational instrument.
Right.
Most often it is used to keep the foundation there.
Right.
Bass players are not typically soloists,
right.
I should say. But did you learn something from how Wayman did it? Because he was able to take the bass guitar and become a star out front playing it.
I sure did. So I was playing just regular bass, taught myself how to do that, like I said, and, just having fun doing that. And then, Dave, I get to school, my junior year in high school, and this guy brings me a CD and he says, I heard you play bass. Check this out. And it was Wayman Tisdale's Power Forward CD. Remember that, the orange one?
Of course.
I took that home and I stuck it in my CD player, and I was like, I never heard a lead bass has been I never heard nothing like this before. I then went and I asked my grandfather if he could help me get this 6-string, because I saw Wayman had a 6-string. So I'm like, obviously you have to have a 6-string to do this. So he bought me a 6-string black Ibanez gold trim. I remember it like it was yesterday. And from that point on, that is when I started to teach myself how to solo. Yeah.
And so I would imagine that a lot of your first gigs were in the church, because correct me if I'm wrong, but your dad and grandfather were both pastors in the church that you grew up in.
That's correct.
And so that was kind of how you got started and playing with amazing musicians, I would imagine. So many people that start in the like yourself that get their beginnings in the church, and there's such unbelievable musicality. Let me just say that as a Jew, we don't have that same kind of musicality at Temple. Yeah. It's nowhere near as inspiring.
Yeah.
You were going to be one of the featured artists on our cruise, and one of the things that and by the way, that cruise has been formally rescheduled to May of 2022, and you will be there for that. And I'm very excited about that.
Sure. I
was so looking forward to seeing you crush it on that ship. And one of the exciting things that you came to me saying you wanted to do a Wayman Tisdale tribute concert and head that up. And I was really so excited about that one. And I'm so sorry that our guests were not able to see you on this particular year cruising. I know that you were looking forward to it too.
Definitely. But 2022 will be even better.
Yeah.
And we're looking forward to it.
I'm very much looking forward to it. Yeah. Hey, buddy, you're in one of the barbecue capitals of the world, and every conversation that you and I have had, whether it's over text or phone or email, I have to weigh in about the barbecue. So go ahead and make me jealous, because we can't get it like you can here in California. What's your favorite barbecue, and are they doing takeout during the coronavirus?
They are doing takeout here, and I've had it twice. My favorite barbecue here is called Jack Stack Barbecue. I actually did a poll on Facebook, and I think Jack Stack barely edged out everyone else. But Kansas City is the best barbecue in the land. There's no debating it. We have the best meats. We have the best sauce. We have the best brisket. We have the best ribs. I mean, there's no denying it.
Those are fighting words, though. I
want
to see all these comments here. I know people are going to say, "Are you kidding me?"
I'll tell you a little story real quick. Last year, I had to go play in Memphis, and it was at least 5,000 people out there, right? This big auditorium, and you know me, I'm going to be myself. So I got out there, did my first song. They was like, yeah, ooh, really cheering, and I said, hey, I'm Julian Vaughn. Of course, if you don't know, I'm from Kansas City, and I understand this is Memphis, but Kansas City has the best barbecue in the land. 5,000 people booed me. It was hilarious.
Well,
it was hilarious.
That is pretty daring of you, and I just found new respect for you. I have a lot of respect for you, Julian, but newfound respect in Memphis to say something like that. You're living dangerously.
I was, but you know what? They trimmed me at the end. They had to trim me at the end. So
promise me that you and I, when this is all over and done behind us, that you and I can sit down for a great plate of Jack Stack's?
Jack Stack barbecue. That's right. Okay.
I'm going to come. I'll make a special trip to Kansas City just for that.
We're going to do it. We're going to do it.
Good. Now, you just celebrated your 40th birthday, as I mentioned at the beginning, and I saw the video from the party. You know how to throw a party. So how's I can't even remember. 40 was so long ago, I can't even remember it. Tell me how 40 is for you so far.
Well, 40 it's been great. Now, I'm not going to lie. I was a little nervous, and half of me didn't, was scared to see it because nobody wants to get older, but I end up embracing it after the fact. But I'm not gonna lie, I was scared as hell. I'm like, no, I don't even have a wife. I don't even have kids yet. I cannot be 40, but it's here and I'm good.
All in good time, buddy.
Yeah.
And let me tell you this, from your future, it only gets better. And
right here.
People who are live commenting, if you're over 40, tell us or back me up on this one, because I didn't think anything could be better than my 40s until I got into my 50s. And 50s have been unbelievable. So may it only continue to get better for you, buddy.
Yeah, I hope so.
I know it will. So what are you going to play for us? I know people want to hear you play some music.
I think I'm going to play one of my singles from my current project called Supreme, and it's called Black Dynamite.
Black Dynamite.
And this song was #1 on the charts, and everybody loves it. So I called it Black Dynamite. And I have a picture, if anybody knows the graphic work to it. It's me with a big afro with 2 bass guitars as my weapons. So I thought it was
cool. Living up to the title.
Right.
All right. Well, let's hear it.
All right.
Julian Vaughn with Black Dynamite, live from his home studio in Kansas City, home of the best barbecue.
And my new bass that I was going to display on the Dave Cause cruise, but I'm going to display it right now. So
that's beautiful.
Thank you. All right. Get worked out here. Right. All right. Here we go. Black Dynamite.
That was hot, man.
Thank you, thank you.
With Marley looking over your shoulder.
Right. Don't worry, be happy, people.
I don't know what I was more impressed with, your bass guitar playing or your upper body. You should. I don't like this split screen here. It's like, all right.
I'm gonna do some push-ups after this.
Yeah, we're gonna do it. Seriously. Thank you so much for being a part of this show. You know that I'm a huge fan of yours and have been for a long time, and I look so forward to getting together in person, playing music together, and anything you ever need from me, I'm in your corner. I'm a huge fan. And I know you've been doing these shows as well. You do it once a month. The next one on it's Instagram and Facebook Live is was it on May 14th, right?
May 14th, 7:30, Thursday night.
Okay.
Yep.
So on be sure to look at, if you liked a little taste of that, then be sure to join Julian for his show May 14th on Facebook Live and Instagram. Buddy, as we say goodbye to you, I just want to bring in one of your good friends who is our second artist, so you can say hey to him for a second. And this gentleman is coming to us live from Charlotte, North Carolina. And this guy is also a powerhouse on his instrument, the saxophone, but he's one of those guys that does a lot of different things and has a resume this long of people that he's played, superstars that he has played with. And so excited to feature him on this show along with you, Julian. Please help me welcome Adrian Crutchfield. There he is.
AC.
What's up, man? Hey, listen, Julian, I'm not going to fight you on this, but you know North Carolina got some good barbecue, too.
I knew that.
You know what? I'm on my way down there. We're going to settle this.
I'm not fighting. I don't want no smoke, man. I don't want the smoke.
Now, do you guys know each other? Have you played together before?
Yep. We know each other through Marcus.
Yeah, through Marcus Anderson.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, and have you made music together before?
No, nope.
Not yet.
But it's going to happen. I can promise you that.
Listen, the cruise was about to be the catalyst.
Well, we'll do it.
He's going to turn it out, man.
We will do it. I promise. Hey, Julian, we'll let you go because I know you got family coming over.
That's
Hope
right.
barbecue. And
A little bit.
we give everybody our best, and thank you so much for being a part of this show. We really, really appreciate
I
it.
appreciate it. Thank you all. Thank you all to the fans. We love you. Thank you.
Julian Vaughn, right there.
Yeah, man.
Adrian.
He had me dancing. I was over here dancing.
Didn't that sound amazing?
I was in it. It was killing. Amazing.
Well, you look like you're doing well. Where are you right now? You're in your house? Is it like your home studio?
Listen, I'm in my home. I have a home studio here. Luckily, I'm or else I would go crazy. I've been in my house for over 4 weeks. I haven't gone. I haven't left.
You haven't left?
I haven't left. I get my groceries delivered. I've gone to the mailbox. That's the farthest I've gone from my apartment in 4 weeks.
And are you going a little cuckoo, or are you keeping it sane?
You know, between having my gear here, having like my home studio, and having an Xbox to play video games, it's kept me kind of grounded and sane, but it's starting to get old.
How long more can we actually do this? Are you on your own? Are you completely alone?
I'm on my own. I'm
Oh.
totally isolated. But I kind of like it. I don't know why, but I dig it. It's cool. It's like I just imagine being on a spaceship or something. I'm like an astronaut.
Or like Tom Hanks in the movie with the volleyball.
Castaway.
Castaway.
And Wilson. Yes.
And Wilson. There you go. We're all a bit of Tom Hanks right now.
Yeah.
Well, it's great to see you, buddy. And as I said to Julian, I'm a huge fan of yours. I think that you have an unbelievable voice on the saxophone, and we know how hard that is. There's not that many people that play lead bass guitar like Julian does.
Yeah.
But there's just countless saxophone players, and each one of us is striving to create that identifiable voice. I know you've been at it for a long time in that pursuit, and you're doing an amazing job. I mean, absolutely amazing job. So tell us a little bit about where you are in your career right now. I know you had a single that was released a few months back that we played on the Sirius show.
Yes, sir. So I don't know. I mean, I'm just kind of taking it all in. I've been doing this for a long time. But as you said, I've been playing for all these different great artists. And so what I had to realize was that I was still not really considered a solo artist because I was spending all my time working behind these other great artists. So yeah. I just, I said, you know what, I'm going to focus more on me as an artist for a little while and make that investment. And it turned out great. This Lover record just kind of took to the ground. You were the first one to play it, actually. And then everybody started playing it and people seem to like it. And I'm really happy with it.
It's great. It's great. Everything that you do is great. Now I'm looking at your instruments back there. You've got saxophones, but I see flute, and I know that you're an incredible dancer as well. What is was saxophone your first instrument?
Saxophone was my first instrument. I got my first sax from Kenny G. So
wait.
Yeah.
You can't just gloss over that story. I know about this story. So you got to walk our listeners, our viewers today through that. You got your first sax from Kenny G.
I got my first sax from Kenny G. I was 4 years old, and my parents were going to a Kenny G concert, and every babysitter, I'm from a little town called Roanoke, Virginia, right?
Mm-hmm.
And at that time, every babysitter in town was terrified of me. And so none of them would take me. And so my parents had to take me to the show.
Well, why were they terrified of you? You're a 4-year-old. Were you just like
I was, some people say I was devious. I like to think I was brilliant.
Okay.
I just think I just found ways to really get under people's skin if I didn't want them. If I wanted to show them that I was in control and not them. And so
at 4.
Yeah, at 4. And so apparently, it worked and people were terrified of me. And so none of the babysitters would take me on. And that night, and all of my family, they were all going to the show. So so my parents took me, and I was really fascinated with it. And apparently so Kenny G, he looked like, at the time, we had a mailman who was a white guy with a Jewish fro and the big curls and everything. So I just thought it was the mailman. I didn't know. I was like, oh, cool. And so I was just really fascinated. And he happened to see me. I was on my dad's shoulders. We were only like 4 rows back from the stage. And he saw me and he stopped and he was like, I could have sworn I just saw a kid in the audience. And he found me and he made my parents bring me up on stage and he asked me if I knew who he was. And I thought I did. So I said, yeah. And
You're the
and
mailman.
yeah, you're the mailman. I know who you are. And he asked me if I liked the saxophone, and I said yeah. And he said, "Do you want to play?" And I said yeah. And so he bestowed me it was a Casio, it's like an EWI, but it's the early version of it. So it was an electronic synth saxophone, and that's what started everything.
Now, has Kenny G kept in touch with you, or I should say, the mailman? Has he kept in touch with you?
Yeah, we talk every now and then. He's great. I didn't see him again for I literally didn't see him again well, I saw him. I saw him in concert, but I didn't actually get to see him face to face again for like 20 years. So when I was 24, we reconnected at a show. Actually, Charlotte, the newspaper here, made a big deal about it and brought me to the show, and like we talked and we hung out and we got to play horns together, and it was great. And ever since then, we've been cool. We talk all the time.
Amazing.
Yeah.
It's we all have, every musician that I know has had those change agents, somebody that saw something in them that they didn't see for themselves. But usually it happens later on in life, not at 4 years old. But how unbelievable that person for you was one of the most successful, actually the most successful sax player of all time.
He's the guy, man. He's the guy. And so
that's a great story. Now, you are no stranger to superstars, though. That was maybe that was the first superstar that you came into contact with, but your career over the last several years has been literally a who's who of the greatest of all time, including people like Bette Midler and Lionel Richie, CeeLo Green. But I know, because I can see there's purple in your studio right there.
Oh yeah.
That all of our viewers are going to be most interested to hear if you have some story about your work with Prince. You were on the road with him. You recorded with him. You were his last saxophone player. That must have been just mind-bogglingly cool.
Oh man, and the coolest part for me was getting to spend that time with some of my favorite and best friends. Like favorite musicians, and so I had, on either side of me, I had BK Jackson and Marcus Anderson with me, and that was like just to have that gig together as three solo sax players, and to be able to, and we know we're dancers, we're entertainers, and a lot of times in this industry, people kind of pick on you when you do something different, and so we always stuck together because that's what we did. We knew we liked smooth jazz and jazz in general, but we also liked R&B and pop. Usher and Neo and Justin Timberlake and all these guys, and they all danced, and so we wanted to do that, but it was kind of frowned upon, and so we did it anyway. But we just had each other's backs, and so when we all got the Prince gig together, it was just like that was probably my favorite part about all of it, was just being able to spend it with my brothers, like and actually having that camaraderie and that fraternity, and that's the most awesome part of it, because I don't think I would have survived on my own, really. Because there were plenty of times where I thought Prince was going to fire me, and so
that was a common feeling from everybody who worked for him. You never really,
so,
your place there. But whether it was Prince or Lionel or some of these other luminaries, what did you learn from working with them that you were able to bring to your solo career?
The best thing I learned from all of them put together was that they don't settle. So before I started doing those shows, when I would do my own show and I would hire musicians, it's people pretend like it doesn't happen, but it does. If someone calls you for a gig, some people treat it differently if it's like a top tier gig as opposed to a lower tier gig.
Mm-hmm.
And my thing is, I try to treat every gig equivalent. So like if you call me for a show, I'm going to give it my all, no matter who you are, no matter what the pay is. If I agree to do it, I'm going to do it. And what I would see early on was that some cats that I would hire, they wouldn't learn my music, or they wouldn't spend as much time on it. And then when I started playing for Prince and Lionel and all these people, I saw how they didn't settle. Like you had to be on it, and they expected that from you. And so when I came home, that's what I did, and it totally changed everything. People started to respect me a little bit more, and my music and my craft, and they knew I wasn't going to tolerate anything less. And that was the best thing I could have learned from any of them, was just don't ever settle. Your music and your art is yours, and that's your child, that's your baby. So it has to be treated as such. And if they disrespect it, they're disrespecting you and really themselves, because, you know,
it's amazing too. We're going to come to you. I want to hear you play a little something, but it made me think about one experience that I had with Stevie Wonder.
Yeah.
Where through a miracle, actually, he agreed to playing a harmonica on one of my Christmas albums.
Mm-hmm.
So I was so excited. And we were in the studio, and this is Stevie Wonder, right? He's doing everybody a favor. He's not getting paid. You know, he's just doing something nice for other musicians. Gets to the end of his harmonica solo. And by the way, it was perfect. Perfect. And he gets to the end of it, the end of the track, and he says, "No, give me another one." And then we went through that one. That was perfect too. Nope, give me another one. We went through 10 tracks of by the way, we used the first take. But it really illustrated the same exact thing.
Yeah.
The people who are heroes, musical heroes, the ones that are treasures, true treasures, are the ones that never settle for just okay. This was like a favor, small little something on my album, and yet it was as important as anything else for him. And that that stuck with me ever since. Amazing.
I love Stevie, and I have such an admiration for him. And I've had the pleasure of being on stage with him and watching him work, also with Prince, and just the way he's a perfectionist. Number one, they all are.
Yeah.
And so that representation was not just about you; it was about his reputation too.
Right.
And so, I mean, it's just so much we learn from those guys, man. It's amazing.
And a lot of people learning from you, young saxophone players, and even old guys like me learning from you, Adrian. So what are you going to play for us this afternoon?
You know, I think I'm going to play my new single, Lover. That's the one, you know. So, you know, if you like it, call and ask for it at your radio stations.
That's right. And pick it up on Apple Music or on Spotify or wherever you're.
Yeah, it's everywhere.
Good.
It's everywhere.
Okay. Here is the incomparable Adrian Crutchfield, little soprano saxophone for your Sunday afternoon. What kind of soprano is that, by the way?
This is an Antigua Winds pro soprano, and I got the Pro One neck on it, so I like the gold neck on all my horns. I try to do that, and this is the Theo Wani Gaia mouthpiece.
Okay,
yeah,
it's a bit of sax geek talk for those who are.
Yeah,
we just lost about 95% of our audience, but that's okay.
Let's talk about how Brecker would do it.
All right, here's Lover from Adrian Crutchfield.
Is that cool for you guys? How does it sound?
Great.
Yeah, man.
Man, that is like the perfect Sunday song.
Right?
Just riding along, just like easy Sunday afternoon, no cares in the world. That was a perfect choice. In fact, there was a guy that was reading the comments while it was going on, exploding with happiness, by the way.
Oh, man.
There was one guy named Bob Johnson. Bob, I liked your comment. He just simply wrote, "Dope, Adrian."
I like it. That's exactly what I wanted it to be.
I'm a little square to use the word dope.
No, you have every right to use that word, and I approve.
You think I can? Can
Yes.
I pull it off, really?
Dude,
Let me try.
listen, one of the first things I told you was that you were on Family Matters, and that makes you okay. In my book, you can say dope. You were on Steve Urkel. You are a superstar, so you can say whatever you want to say.
You know, you're too young to know that I was on that, because that was like this feels like 60 years ago.
Oh man, I had every record already.
That's so funny. All right, well then I'm going to use it because you inspired me,
Yeah.
Adrian Crutchfield. That song you just played was dope.
Thank you. I'm going to put that in my resume that you said that song was dope.
Hey, buddy, you're going to be doing a Facebook Live as well. Did you come up with the date yet?
You know, I was going to do the 14th, but because Julian's doing the 14th, I'm going to try to push it to the 15th. So I'll keep everybody posted if you just stay on my page. Okay. And I'll let you guys know, and I'll let you know as well so you can tell everybody.
Yeah. And in case you're just hearing Adrian for the first time today, please support this amazing artist. In fact, all the artists. In fact, all the young artists that are doing this, making this music right now. Yeah. As I mentioned at the top of the show, it is not an easy time, anytime, but especially during the pandemic for young artists everywhere who were looking forward to being out there on the road and making a living this during this time, like all of us. Please support the young artists, especially. They really need our support now more than ever, and are so worthy. Guys like you are so worthy, and I just want you to know how much I appreciate you and how much I love and respect you, buddy. Keep doing the great work that you're doing. I'm so impressed.
Thank you, man. Dave, you're one of my heroes, so it means a lot coming from you.
Well, I love you, buddy. You're one of my heroes. And before we let you go, I want you to say hello to another person that is a hero to you. And
the doctor.
The good doctor.
Yeah.
Going to join us right now. This is a man who has, I always say this, he's like the poster child of how to, if you're a young artist and you want to make yourself known in the world, this guy's the poster child for how to do it. Over the last several years, he went from sideman to star, and he did it effortlessly and beautifully. And now he is absolutely one of the highest rising stars in the world of contemporary instrumental music. And I'm so impressed with how he's done it. And he's done it with a big smile on his face, which hopefully he has today. Say hello to Dr. Adam Hawley.
What's up, everybody? How y'all doing? Man, check is in the mail for the intro, Dave. Check is in the
mail. Adam, man, good to see you, bro.
You keep What's up? That, I wait for the check. It never comes. But
yeah, keep looking. Keep looking. All right. Man, Adrian, how you doing? Killing, man. Hey, amazing. Man. So good to see you, man.
I'm trying to be like you, man. That's all.
Oh, no. And how you doing, Dave? Thank you so much for having me. Appreciate it.
Great to have you, Adam. And I was asking that of Julian. Now, you guys have worked together, or you have not worked together yet?
Same. Yeah, it's the same situation.
We know each other through Marcus. I think I saw you at Marcus's festival last summer.
Yep.
And last time I saw you, and Adrian's incredible. So I hope we connect soon for sure.
Oh, we will. We got all the time in the world right now.
So hey, virtually at least we'll make it happen.
Yeah. This show is the start of something with the three. Because there's a connectivity between the music that you're all making.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
That seems like a real like solid idea. Concept. So maybe, who knows? I'll buy a ticket.
Let's do it, man. That soprano was sweet. That was sweet. Man. So let's do it.
Adrian, thank you so much. We'll let you go back to enjoy the rest of your Sunday alone at home.
Xbox time. It's Xbox time.
Continue to be safe. Thank you so much for sharing your music with us all today, and much continued success. We love you.
Love you guys. I'll see you soon.
All right, man.
Adrian Crutchfield. Amazing. Awesome job. Adam.
All right, what is happening, man? Hanging with you, Dave. This is great. Great way to get going.
Now, I do want to start before we have a little chat with Adam. I do want to say that Adam and I go way back. Adam has been the guitarist on our cruises for, I want to say, like 10 years now, right? Or almost 10 years.
Yeah, well, I was on your first cruise in 2011. I was hanging out with DW3, and then been playing guitar since 2013 when we went to the Mediterranean. So it's been an honor. It's been so much fun.
And Adam has done a bunch of tours with us as well. The last being the Summer Horns tour, the last 2 Summer Horns tours, and those were really fun summers because not only were you a support player, which you do so well, but there were moments in the show where you got to step out and do your thing, and those were some of the happiest moments of my memories of those 2 summer tours. Getting a chance to play with you and see audience that completely freak out with you, because I don't think that people realize when you step up from being a sideman to taking the front of the stage, people are not expecting you to do what you do.
Yeah, it was really incredible. I mean, just the legends on stage, yourself, Gerald, Richard Elliott, Kenny Lattimore, Rick Braun, Aubrey Logan, incredible. I mean, it was a dream come true, and you've been supportive from the beginning. I always say it's your fault. You played my first single on your radio show. People were still not sure. Should we play this? I don't know, and you got the ball rolling. So I'm always thankful for that. And just like with that tour, it was really incredible. So many of the promoters on that tour, that was kind of like an inside track. I booked a lot of gigs off of doing those last 2 summers with you. So it was such a blast. It was a pleasure.
Adam, you've worked so hard, and as I said before, it's not an easy thing to go from being a sideman to becoming a star on your own. Of course, you had like Adrian, you had a lot of experience with superstars. J-Lo being one of them, was one of your last gigs before you sort of took on being an artist as the number one priority for yourself. But that's not an easy thing to do, and yet you did it, and it looks so effortless. Did you have a concept of how you were going to do this in advance, or you just kind of, because there's no playbook, there's no rule book of how to do it?
Well, I had started wanting to do a record as early as 2005. I was at the University of Southern California and studying guitar there. And I did a few demos, and it didn't feel right. It just didn't seem to be coming together. And then in not too long after that, I got married, started touring. Me and my lovely wife, Kat, we had our son, Adam Jr., and I went on the road with the Manhattan Transfer for 4 years. And then Jennifer Lopez, as you mentioned. And but in 2013, it was a really magical year. In that year, I started playing with Huge Groove, Gerald Albright, Brian Culbertson, and I started doing your cruise, all within a matter of like 3 months. That all happened. And so that's when I was like, okay, I started to get a better idea of the quote unquote scene of contemporary jazz. And that's when I started thinking about, I started on a record like 8 years ago. Maybe I should revisit that. And so it was a combination of all of that, of touring with major artists such as yourself and Brian. And then also I had the good fortune of signing with Maurice White's record label. And that was through a good friend of ours, Greg Manning, introduced me to them. And big shout out to Ted Joseph, Richie Salvato there. They got me started. My first 2 albums came out. And talk about a dream come true. The whole reason I got started on the guitar was I found my parents' record collection, and one of those records was That's the Way of the World, Earth, Wind, and Fire. And so then, what would that be? 25 years later to sign on Maurice's label.
Wow.
It's like, And then even at that, they said, we're going to put out your first record. You're a new artist. Hopefully we get some airplay, and, we'll build from there. And that first song ended up being number 1 for 5 weeks back in the summer of 2016. And it's just been a dream come true. It's just such a blessing. I feel so fortunate. And we've now had 6 number 1s.
6 number 1s.
It's a blessing. That's all I could say. So shout out to Kalimba. I appreciate those guys. Now my 3rd album just came out. By the way, shameless plug.
Do it.
I have it on vinyl.
Wait, that's on vinyl?
Yes, sir.
Can I have one of those? I'll buy it.
Oh no, I'll send you one. But right now they're available through my website, so check that out, adamhawley.com. But I'm so proud of this new album. By the way, I'm now completely independent. I have my own record label. This just came out about a month ago, and so having a lot of fun with it. So just feeling fortunate.
Yeah, it's called Escape, and it's your third solo album,
Yes, sir.
and it's fantastic. I got a chance to play on the last one that
Yes.
was number one, which I loved. I love playing that song.
Thank you. Thank you.
Let me ask you a little bit about, because there's so many aspects to your career. There's the solo artist. You're an amazing producer. You produce your own music. You sent me, because I'm working on a new album. I said, Adam, you got some tracks for me. You sent me like 5 tracks. Every one of them sounds like a hit.
Oh,
so
well, I was honored. Thank you for reaching out. You know what's crazy? Not only did you reach out, but Tom Brown of Jamaica Funk fame reached out like 2 days. You two were like 2 days apart. So that was a pretty cool week. I was pinching myself.
Hey, it's just great. Like, what you're doing is fantastic. So there's no reason why all these other people would be knocking on your door. But you also are a very education is a huge part of your life. We give you a lot of good-natured ribbing about being a doctor, but you are actually a PhD. You have a PhD of music. You are Dr. Adam Hawley. And so I know that aspect is really important for you as well. Tell us a little bit about the education side of what you do. And if you were to say, if there was one aspect of what you do that is your favorite, like your heart and soul, which would it be?
Yeah, I have so much fun in terms of being in the world of education. Over the course of my career, I've taught at 4 different colleges. I'm currently at 2. I'm at Musicians Institute in Hollywood, and then I'm also at Saddleback College down in Orange County. And we're right in the middle of our semester down in Orange County. And so everything has gone virtual, which has been very interesting. I teach an ensemble class. I co-teach with the chair there. That has been interesting. So we've been getting them involved in recording. We're having all our students record and lay down their tracks because, as it is right now, they can't get together in person. I also have 5 fantastic private students down there. And it's such a joy, just incredible players. Over the years, I've had students go out and just some of them blow up. Mateus Asado, has gone out and toured with Jesse J, and he's a fantastic solo artist. So I have a lot of fun. I've been teaching since about 13 years old. The lesson studio I was at needed a sub and had me come in and sub for one of their adult teachers, and that was the beginning. Yeah.
Amazing.
My mom had to drop me off, and so I could go in and teach. Some of the students were like, "Who are you?"
You might be in the wrong room.
But I have such a love for education, and I've been teaching overall for 20 years, but at the collegiate level now for about 7, and it's such a blast. I love all of the different aspects of my career, and that's why I'm involved with them and try to dig deep in all of them. And that's what I tell my students is it's hard to do just one thing in the industry. You really have to be multifaceted and kind of ride the waves. And so the cool thing about my education career, I do it part-time, just 2 days a week. That's in the fall, and in the spring, that leaves the whole summer open to tour. That leaves the whole Christmas season open to tour. And so you just kind of ride those. And, right now, we can't tour right now, but my production work has just been just off the charts. I have 15 clients right now and just having so much fun with it. Most of them I'm producing for. I've got a few I'm just mixing. I've got a few I'm doing guitar tracks. And so that's a blessing too, because I'm at home with my family, my wife and son. And, I just walk about 5 feet across the hall to my studio and clock in. Do about 8 to 10 hours a day. Then we have dinner together, have game night, and so we're trying to make the best of the situation. And it's been going well so far.
Well, it's no surprise that you have so many people knocking on your door because you got 6 number 1 feathers in your cap. See, that does help a little bit. You mentioned Kat and Adam, your lovely family, who I love and adore as well. What are the do you have any takeaways from this so far? I understand that it's probably a little too. We're still in it. And we'll probably be in it for a little bit more. But has there anything dawned on you like that this experience has taught you that you're going to incorporate in your life moving forward?
Well, as I mentioned a second ago, the family time has been incredible. Like, it's like having dinner with each other every night, sitting down. We're playing card games, board games, Monopoly. Monopoly got a little heated, so we took a little break from that. But I just feel so fortunate for my family too. My wife has been incredible. She's spearheaded just the whole cleanliness aspect and just disinfecting things. Getting our groceries and making sure everything is is just kosher with that. And my son, I'm so proud of him. He gets up on his own every day, does his schoolwork. It's all distance learning. He has Taekwondo now from distance. They send him a video and have him do his training. He's in a coding class that's now distance learning, so he does coding on his own at home. I had to give him my spare computer so that he could keep up with all his activities, and he's killing it, man. He's doing such a great job in school, and Presidential Gold Award, by the way, #1 in his class last year. So
you're not proud at all, are you?
So we're hoping he keeps that up again this year. But yeah, we're so proud of him, and I'm just thankful for the family right now because it's 3 of us plus our dog, family dog, Rufus. And so we're hanging in there, just quarantining and being here for each other.
Good. Well, thank you so much for being here for us today.
My
I
pleasure.
know I've been reading these comments. Everybody's so happy to see you. You have a tremendous amount of fans out there that would love to hear something from you today. So what are you going to play for us?
I would love to play my new single if that's okay off the new album. It features a really good buddy of mine, Jeff Ryan, great saxophonist out of the Bay Area, and just this week it jumped up to #4 on Billboard. So we got our fingers crossed. It'll keep going.
I can smell it. I can.
But I'm gonna play it for you right now. To the Top.
To the Top from Adam Hawley.
All right, here we go.
My neighbors must be wondering what the hell is going on because I'm going crazy in my living room.
Oh man, you got me sweating, Dave. Man,
Good thing you got us sweating too. Effortless mastery of guitar.
You're too kind. You're too kind.
That sounded so great. That's called To the Top from Adam's new album called Escape. It's another phenomenal project. If you're not already hip to Adam's music, go pick up a copy or order it on Amazon or stream it on Spotify or Apple Music, whatever you need to do. It's such great work, buddy.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Much continued success to you, Adam Hawley. I look forward to, I can't even tell you how much I'm looking forward to being together with you in person.
Yes, sir.
Getting back to what we do and do best. And so have a good rest of the quarantine, and God willing, we'll be back out there before you know it, buddy.
Awesome. Appreciate it so much, Dave. And just so y'all know, I've got my own show tomorrow night. If y'all want to tune in, 7 p.m. on my Facebook. So we've been having so much fun. I've done two of them so far. This will be the third episode. And so check it out.
It's called AH on Facebook Live.
That's right. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. 7 p.m. Pacific. So hope to see y'all there.
So if you like what you just heard, you get a whole, how long are the shows? About an hour or so?
We're doing an hour. We're doing requests. I got so many requests in the last week, enough for 2 shows. So I'm trying to work my way through it, and but we're having a lot of fun with it. Okay.
Adam Hawley on Facebook Live tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. Adam, I love you, buddy. Please get my love to Matt and to Adam and your whole family, everybody in your wonderful family. And please stay healthy and safe and sane. And I love you, buddy. See you again very soon.
Love you too. Thank you so much, Dave. Appreciate
Adam Hawley. Now that was a show. I gotta say, I enjoyed that show very, very, very much. I like this show because I could really be a fan. And I am such a fan of these 3 guys. A big thank you again to Julian Vaughn, to Adrian Crutchfield, and of course, Adam Hawley for entertaining us this afternoon and giving us something that we can remember and can keep us riding high to the end of our weekend on this beautiful Sunday together. Wherever you are, I hope you're safe and sound and healthy and happy and remaining sane in this craziness that we're all in. But as I mentioned at the beginning of the show, there is light at the end of the tunnel. I know we can make it, and think of the celebration it will be when we do. Have a wonderful rest of your Sunday, and we'll be back here on Facebook Live this coming Friday with the incredible Gerald Albright, so I hope you'll be able to tune in for that. And thank you again for your enduring support here. This means a lot. I've been reading all the comments that you've been making during this show, and it's a wonderful shot in the arm. You know how much we miss you right now. We miss you. Trust me, we miss you more than you miss us. So I look forward to that time when we can all be together again very, very soon. Until then, be well, take care, God bless you, and see you very, very soon.